Submarines and ships. It's 1918, and the Atlantic is a sub-infested sea. German U-boats are stalking and sinking American merchant vessels carrying arms and supplies to the Allied armies fighting in France. And this is It'll add to the total strength of America's merchant fleet. And the tonnage grows. In January, 91,000 tons. In February, in American waters everywhere, ships of all sizes are sliding down the ways. 900,000 tons in 1917, 3 million tons in 1918. By 1919, over 4 million tons. And then, with victory won, Hog Island, fabulous city of ships, comes down. The greased ways are covered with rust. The once busy metropolis of 30,000 workers is now deserted, except for wrecking crews. Machinery worth millions of dollars is now just millions of pounds of mere scrap. But the ships that sailed from Hog Island hog-tied and sank the Kaiser's dream of worldwide domination.
Taking it off by the ton. In Chicago in 1921, Windy City residents are trying to get thin. Top advocate of the anti-tonnage movement is Dr. John Dill Robertson, shown here with a few colossal clients. Here are a couple so captured by the craze, they work off those pounds in working clothes. Now you know how tough it is to bend a rubber ball. These two are trying hard enough for twins, and maybe they are twins, each one of them. This scale no doubt starts at 300 pounds. And the girls must have lost 50 or 60, if smiles mean anything. Men, too, go for getting rid of that excess weight. The well-dressed doll of the early 20s is Antoinette Donnelly, still writing a column in 1950. If she kept up the crusade all through the years, these fat fellows must be beanpoles now. Look, he's lost something already.
Carol, the king, at Clansenburg. It's 1930, and after 4 years in exile, King Carol of Romania wears his country's crown, and with his mother, Queen Marie, makes this visit to historic Clansenburg University, his first official act as monarch. It's a great moment for Romania, which lost her king when Carol chose between Madame Lupescu and the throne. Now, with the lovely woman of his choice forever in the background, a man of royal birth takes on the grave responsibilities of his heritage and rules his Balkan monarchy as his famous mother so fondly hoped he would. But destiny rocks the foundations of the Romanian throne, and soon Carol II is king in exile once again.
Here's Dudley Field Malone, who once joined Clarence Darrow in the Tennessee trial for the defense of evolution. Famed lawyer in his own right, this is how he looked in late 1920s. He was outspoken against prohibition, made national plea for repeal of 18th Amendment.
Famed for her roles in My Name is Woman and The Big Chance, here's actress Mary Nash as she appeared in the late 1920s. Sister of an actress, wife of an actor, she was still active in the theater during the 30s, too. Unforgettable Mary Nash.
Here's Spanish novelist Vicente Blasco Ibanez in the late 20s. Best known are his books The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse and Mare Nostrum, both of which were made into motion pictures that became milestone in Hollywood entertainment. Another Ibanez-inspired motion picture was Blood and Sand.
It's 1921 as oil well burns in backyard of Los Angeles home, and the gushing black gold is still feeding the wind-fanned flames. So swift is the spread of the fire that there's no time to remove cars parked along the street. Everything within several blocks is destroyed or badly damaged before flaming oil from runaway gusher is brought under control. Nobody's making a fortune from this oil, but it sure is costing one.
Last of the line. Here's rope maker, 80-year-old Adolph Berg of Oakland, California. It's 1930, and Mr. Berg is only man still plying ancient trade of making rope by hand. Weaving strands in this manner, the aging Mr. Berg has walked 25,000 miles or all the way around the world, making big ones out of little ones. And like all good craftsmen, the octogenarian takes time out to admire his work. Give him enough rope, and he's happy.
Jolting Jaunt. Here over Halden, England, in late 1920s, one of Juan de Sierva's freakish-looking autogyros gives a good account of itself in demonstration for the British. But then something goes wrong. Hey, look out! Bang up flight ends and crack up landing, but things could be worse. Pilot's okay, but looks as if plane's being hauled to scrap heap.
Primrose House proprietor. Here in middle 1920s is Mrs. Governor Morris, going into the business beautiful, the beauty business. And here's a coy client who thinks beauty is as a socialite wife of Rita Morris does. She's properly attired in the droopy drape of the times, but her face is out of fashion, so she's come to Primrose House for a bit of professional care. This would feel good in any year. Now, let's have a look at our remodeled client. Thank you very much. Now you thank Mrs. Morris.
For the favorite, a fatal finish. It's July 26, 1925, and here's early stage of France's famed Grand Prix, one of world's top auto racing classics. Contest starts in stadium, with cars zooming around track before zipping out into open country roads and city streets. Favored to finish first, Antonio Ascari of Italy. Too early in race for trouble, this driver's having it just the same. Overall service job doesn't take too much time, with 150,000 francs at stake. So racers off again and heads for the open road. Average speed is close to 100 miles an hour. And here's what pace did to Antonio Ascari. He'll race no more. Winner is Robert Benoit of France. His average speed, 70 miles an hour. Plenty fast. But Ascari was doing 124 miles an hour when he cracked up, losing his race and his life. Jog in June. It's June 2nd, 1926, and from spot near Valley Forge, nation's best marathon runners beat a path toward Philadelphia. It's tough over a hilly course that's full marathon length of 26 miles, 385 yards. And among favored contestants is Clarence DeMar, wearing colors of Melrose, Massachusetts American Legion Post. DeMar, top among world's long-distance runners, isn't in front at first, perhaps waiting for ups and downs of route to wear the pace setters off. Lengthy leg race comes to close in Philadelphia's Municipal Stadium, and first to cross finish line is DeMar, doing the distance in less than 3 hours. Clarence DeMar, winded, warm, but winner